Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we'll follow Mara, who's spending the night in a quiet mountain clearing, resting inside her little canvas tent while soft rain falls outside. This is a story about peace, small moments of connection, and the sounds of rain that soothe the heart. Before we begin, take a deep breath. Let your body settle into comfort. Feel the pillow beneath your head, the soft weight of your blanket, and the quiet stillness of the room around you. Now imagine yourself among misty pines where the air smells like rain and wood smoke. It's time to drift away with Mara, to the mountains, to the tent, to the gentle rhythm of the rain. The rain had begun just as Mara zipped up her little green tent. It wasn't a heavy rain, more of a patient drizzle, falling with a delicate rhythm that blended perfectly with the soft rustling of the forest around her. The clearing was tucked deep in the woods, a place she'd found the year before, beside a winding stream that sang quietly, even when the world was still. The tent stood beneath a tall cedar tree, its branches wide and protective, letting raindrops slide down in soft trails. Inside, the air was warm and dry. Mara arranged her sleeping bag, fluffed her small pillow, and placed a tiny lantern beside her. Its golden glow spread gently across the tent's fabric walls, turning the space into a cocoon of light against the dim, rainy dusk outside. She could hear everything: the gentle patter of rain on the canvas, the occasional sigh of wind through the trees, and the distant bubbling of the creek. The combination was perfect: soothing, natural, endlessly calming. She brewed herself a little cup of chamomile tea over the small camping stove. The steam rose in lazy curls, carrying the scent of flowers and warmth. She cradled it in her hands, sipping slowly, the kind of quiet warmth that made her shoulders relax. Outside, the forest was full of subtle life. A night bird calling once, the faint rustle of small animals moving in the damp leaves. But mostly there was the rain, that soft, constant rhythm that seemed to tell her, "You can rest now." Later that evening, just as Mara began to journal by the lantern's light, she heard a faint crunch of footsteps on the wet earth. At first, she froze. The sound was unexpected out here. But then came a quiet voice, low and familiar. "Mara? You awake?" It was Finn, her traveling companion who had gone earlier to gather more firewood. She unzipped the flap just enough for him to duck inside, shaking the rain from his jacket. He smiled sheepishly. "Got caught in the downpour." Mara handed him a dry towel and motioned for him to sit. They sat side by side inside the small tent, the space just big enough for two, as the rain fell steadily outside. The air was warm, close, and carried the faint scent of pine, rain, and damp earth. Finn pulled out a small tin of cookies from his pack, and together they shared a few, laughing softly at how the cookies had gone slightly soggy from the moisture. "It's strange," Finn said after a pause, "how peaceful this feels. I thought I'd miss the noise of the world, but here it's like everything unnecessary just fades away." Mara nodded. "I think that's what I come here for," she said, "to remember that quiet isn't empty." They listened to the rain a while longer, neither of them speaking. The rhythm filled the silence, soft, steady, When the rain eased into a drizzle, they decided to step outside for a moment. The air was cool and sweet, filled with the earthy scent of wet pine needles. Tiny drops clung to the leaves, reflecting the lantern's glow like miniature stars. Finn managed to coax a small fire to life under a makeshift tarp, using dry twigs he'd stored earlier. The flames danced softly, their light flickering against the dark forest backdrop. Mara sat beside him, wrapped in a blanket, her mug steaming again with tea. The sound of the nearby creek joined the symphony, the soft gurgle of water meeting the patter of rain on the tarp. They spoke in hushed tones about small memories, places they'd seen, dreams they'd had as children. Finn told her about summers spent camping with his grandfather, how they'd count fireflies until they disappeared into the trees. Mara told him about her first night alone in the woods, how afraid she'd been, until the rain came and fear melted into calm. For a long while they just watched the flames, saying nothing. The world around them was alive but hushed, the kind of quiet that felt sacred. Each drop of rain on the tarp above sounded like a heartbeat, slow, constant, soothing. Eventually the fire burned lower and the mist thickened again, wrapping the forest in a soft, silvery haze. They returned to the tent together, leaving the last embers of the fire glowing faintly behind. Inside, the warmth greeted them again. The rain outside had grown steadier now, a lullaby on the canvas roof. Mara lay back on her sleeping bag, listening. Finn stretched beside her, his hands folded behind his head. "You can really hear the layers of it," he murmured. "The rain?" she asked. "Yeah, the big drops on the roof, the tiny ones in the distance, the wind carrying them between the trees. It's like music," Mara smiled in the dim light. "Nature's orchestra," she said softly. They both grew quiet again, the kind of silence that comes when words are no longer needed. The rain carried its song through the night, soft, constant, hypnotic. The lantern's flame trembled, a tiny golden heart in the dimness of the tent. Outside, the rain had found its rhythm again, soft and steady, the kind that doesn't hurry, the kind that seems as if it could go on forever. Each drop landed with a gentle patter on the canvas above, rolling down in slow trails, pooling into quiet rivulets that shimmered when lightning far away flickered across the clouds. The thunder never came, just the light, soft and distant, a whisper across the mountains. Inside, the air was warm and close. The scent of damp earth and pine filtered faintly through the open flap, mingling with the last trace of wood smoke from their dying fire. Mara lay cocooned in her sleeping bag, her hands tucked beneath her chin, eyes half open, watching the wavering light of the lantern. Finn shifted beside her, the fabric of his jacket brushing softly against the nylon floor. "Still awake?" he murmured, voice quiet and blurred with sleep. "A little," Mara whispered, "just listening." He smiled, eyes closed. "Best lullaby there is." She turned her head, watching the faint outline of his face in the dim glow, the calm, relaxed expression of someone utterly at peace. It made her chest loosen, her breathing slow. She realized she hadn't thought about time in hours, Out here there was no clock, no ticking, no rush. Only the rain. Another gust of wind brushed against the tent, sending a soft ripple through the canvas. Raindrops rolled faster for a few seconds, then slowed again, like a heartbeat calming down after a sigh. Mara's thoughts drifted. She imagined the sound of the rain spreading outward, over the meadow, over the trees, over the sleeping valley below. She pictured it brushing against leaves, tapping gently on the roof of the old ranger cabin by the trailhead, trickling into the stream that wound past their campsite. That stream would carry the rainwater down the mountain, she thought, through mossy stones and fern-shadowed gullies, all the way to the lake they'd passed earlier in the day. And from there, it would join another stream, and another, until it met the sea. The image filled her mind. Rain becoming river, river becoming ocean, an endless circle of motion and rest. She found herself breathing in time with it. Slow inhale, slow exhale, until her heartbeat seemed to match the rhythm of the drops above. The lantern flickered lower, its light fading into the soft amber of the final flame. Shadows rippled across the fabric walls like gentle waves. Then, with a quiet pop, the light went out. Darkness settled gently around them, not empty or cold, but full and warm, as though the night itself had drawn them into an embrace. The rain continued its lullaby. Outside, a branch creaked softly under the weight of water. A small animal rustled through the wet leaves. Somewhere far off, an owl called once, its voice deep and hollow, echoing between the trees. Mara felt the sound travel through her, not startling but grounding. It was a sound that belonged here, in this world of rain and pine and darkness. She turned slightly on her side, her sleeping bag rustling faintly. The movement brought her closer to Finn, who had already drifted into sleep. His breathing was slow, steady, like another rhythm joining the rain's song. She smiled, eyes heavy now, and let her mind float between wakefulness and dreams. Images flickered softly, the glow of the fire earlier that night, the mist lifting from the grass, Finn's quiet laugh, the shimmer of the creek under the lantern light. All of it felt distant and near at once, like memories sinking into the gentle waves of sleep. Her final thought was a simple one, that here, in this little pocket of the world, with rain falling steady and kind, everything was exactly as it should be. The rain whispered against the canvas, the forest breathed slow and deep, and Mara drifted down and down into the quiet rhythm of the night. The story didn't end so much as it melted away, like mist into rain, leaving only sound, warmth, and rest. Let your thoughts drift away, not pushed or chased, but simply allowed to float like leaves on water. If a memory rises, let it pass through you like mist. If a sound catches your ear, let it fade into the rhythm of the rain. Everything that matters is here, this moment, this breath, this stillness. Let the quiet hold you now. Let the warmth spread. Feel your chest rise and fall, rise and fall, until even your breath becomes part of the rain. When sleep finally comes, it will come softly, the way twilight fades into night, the way waves kiss the shore and drift back again. You are safe, you are warm, you are home in the rain. Good night.